Hello and welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. The show is on. And I tell you, so also is a new dawn for football in Africa and then a continuum for sports in the world. Because the National Sport Festival finally has a date to reach. And you're saying it's coming to Benin at the Asian city of Benin by 2nd of February, 2nd of April, and then by 14th, yes, ready to depart. So we'll get to the itinerary, and we expect that all the participants from the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, will be ready to converge right there in Benin. Finally, after 4 postponements, it will take place this time around. The effect of COVID-19 is a bit reduced, and then we hope there won't be spikes, and then it can be managed. Because we've seen sporting events going up all over the world. We can follow suit and see how it will be done. We'll get to the exact dates. We'll let you see when the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony date, arrival date, and the departure date, as was given out in that press list by the organizing secretary to the organizing committee. So that will be that. And then also, we've already tell you about the countdown to the Olympics. It is there, 23rd. That date has not changed, 23rd July 2021. That is when it's going to happen. But before we talk about that particular one, because yes, okay, we can just do that and let you know that here, the president of IOC, Thomas Bach himself, has been re-elected for a second term. You know, he ended the first in 2013. But so he is going for a second term, and that is stability and continuum. And we shall look at what goes on at the World Global Organization. So the IOC say we have a man who's done well in the first 8 years. Let's give another 4 years. He started in 2013, so he'll still be there till 2025. And we hope that other election. I will talk to my guys here right in the studio, because it's like when it comes to sports and sporting organizations, they just stay there. Some go 4 or 5 terms, and some go 8 years and 4 years. But that is what is in the constitution. So you just have to respect that. But coming to Africa, the era of Ahmad Ahmad finally came to an end. It came to an end before the elections because on Monday, CAS did rule that Mr. Ahmad Ahmad, your 5-year tenure will be reduced to 2 years. But then, unless had they been vacated all, that run he would have been eligible to contest. So they said, we have reduced it. But you are banned for 2 years. So while still under the ban, he couldn't. There was no way he could have contested, for the CAF presidency. And then we know that the FIFA initiated that move where all the aspirants has to meet and say, okay, guys, step down. So Motsepe right now, Patrice Motsepe, we'll talk about him. He is at the helm of affairs. And then CAF also changed their constitution from having 3 vice presidents, they're now having 5 vice presidents, representing CAF. So it's an all-inclusive affair. A new secretary general was also appointed for CAF. So it's a new dawn, but we shall look at the implications of this when we do open the lines and you join us. But coming back home, the league is up. Our league is on, but then that same trend of accident is becoming one too many, because the Aqua United players got involved in an accident on their way to Kaduna, where they were going to play an away match. You look at it. We talked about the Bauchi, the Wiki Tourist team that were also involved. We talk about the robbers that have been, attacking these players on and off. So I don't know what could be done or how we can, stem the tide of this accident, because it is becoming worrisome, to some of us. We shall also look at global tennis, because the man they call the Joker, Djokovic, is there for 312 weeks in total. He is the all-time of all time. When you are at world number 1 for that much of time, it tells you that there are no way about it. That road to greatness, he's pledging it. He's already on 18, to catch up with Nadal and Roger Federer. So at 18, now all-time number 1 in the 48 years that it has been there. This guy has sat there 6 years. Or boom in the house, he will look at that with me, and which I look at the implication of the dominance of Djokovic. The NBA All-Stars, we talked about it last week, that took place last week, and then it is apart from the show that okay, fine. Team LeBron defeated Team Durant by 170 to 150. But those who gained on this are actually the HBCUs, the historically black colleges and universities. You know, where the, 3 million came from the NBA, 1.5 million, that was $1 million, won by Team LeBron, and $500,000 by Team Durant, and some other endorsements that came in there. You know, for each of those things, for those universities, purely black universities, where students can have advantage, where students can go over there and take loans, where students can have education based on the availability of funds for their scholarship. So it was all win-win for the HBCUs, and we should look at the implication of that, taking our own universities in Nigeria into cognizance what percentage of Nigerian students, you know, are benefiting from scholarship in our own universities. So, well, you know, of course, we can't do that without talking about football. In the Champions League, Ronaldo went and Messi followed suit. There are 2 new kids on the block. Let's see who will be there. Will it be the same 2 or some other one will join them? The era of Messi and Ronaldo dwindling, and the era of Mbappe, and then Haaland. Probably most of them might move to Spain, because that is where they all converge. Maybe one will go to Barcelona, another one will go to Real Madrid, and now become a kind of a duopoly again. So we'll look at this. All these are what we're talking about, and also we lost the marvelous one. The man who says, call me marvelous, he refused. Call me marvelous, he refused. Call me marvelous, he refused. And he says, okay, I will legally change my name from Marvin Hagler to Marvelous Marvin Hagler. And he did it. We lost that great one, and we shall look at his history, what he did for boxing. But let's start with the show. Before I go to Obum, let us hear from Patrice Motsepe, the new henchman of African football.
The way that success appears, or the way that it looks, is in relation to a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, when we look at how is the African nations, clubs or teams performing globally, because we have to compete at the highest level in the world and do well. And there is no higher level in the world than the FIFA and the FIFA World Cup.
Okay, that you heard from him. It's going to be a new dawn. But then before I talk about that, let me take Obum. Patrice Motsepe.
Ken, good afternoon. Good afternoon, viewers. Well, I can only say congratulations to him, but I'm looking at the process that brought him to power. For me, I think is a bit tainted, is a bit manipulated. The FIFA's contribution to his emergence, especially the FIFA president, it's very, very obvious. And I thought they should and ought to give the African Football Associations the right to choose who they want. I think the FIFA president, let me be straightforward, influenced his emergence as a president. And if you look at the whole scenarios, his friend and somebody that went to school with him, a Swiss Congolese, Mosengo Omba, if I'm right with that name,
yeah.
He left his role at FIFA with immediate effect and is coming to Africa to become the General Secretary of African football. Ken, it beggars belief, what is FIFA's president's interest in this election? Because not only did he influence the choice of who becomes the president of CAF, he literally dashed CAF General Secretary as well. I think it's preposterous to say the least.
Yes, sometimes they say, okay, we looked at, like he's talking about the process that brought, this same group of,
yes.
This new board
yes.
into power. It is not much different from the same process that brought in Ahmad. Because Hayatu had issues with FIFA. With FIFA.
Yes.
Hayatu supported Sheikh Salman.
Yes.
You understand? So when Infantino won, Hayatu is already an enemy.
Yes.
And he made, they worked towards that, and he came to Africa to contest, to campaign for Ahmad, and then they sent Hayatu out. Now, probably
Ahmad fell out again with the powers that be. What they didn't tell us is that on what premise did they reduce his ban from 5 years to 2 years?
That is CAS. It wasn't even the FIFA.
I know.
It was the CAS.
Ken, these people are like...
Are you saying Siamese twins?
Siamese twins. The hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob. Yeah,
we still have confidence and hope in CAS and that decision. We would have cast our passion on that.
They have been able to make some good decisions in the time past, but this selection, I'll call it selection process of CAF president, Ken, we need to stand up. African football needs to stand up because we can't keep having this merry-go-round at every election season. It's not right, and they should give the FAs and the bodies in charge the freedom to choose who leads them.
Okay, I totally agree with you. But then right now we are stuck with Patrice Motsepe. For me, if not for the interference of FIFA, I believe that he's eminently qualified to rule Africa.
Definitely.
He has invested so much in African football. He is the president of Mamelodi Sundowns. The PSL started in 1996, and between then and now, Mamelodi Sundowns has won the league 10 times. That is a record. They've won the CAF Champions League. I mean, so you can say here is a man who has invested so much in African football. So we expect that maybe for the first time, we are having a person. A football, the real stakeholder, that somebody will say, sometimes we say, put your money where your mouth is. This guy has put his money there. He has invested, and he says
he has invested some over $3 million or something like that. And it's also important that we let our viewers who the 5 vice presidents are now.
Yes. Okay. Well,
the first vice president is Augustin Senghor from Senegal.
He stepped down. He among those that stepped down
from
the second. Go on.
Second vice president Ahmed Yahya, Mauritania.
Yes.
Third vice president Suleiman Waberi from Djibouti.
Yeah.
Fourth vice president Seydou Mbombo Njoya from Cameroon.
Yes.
And fifth vice president is Kanizat
Ibrahim. From Comoros.
From Comoros.
That is the only lady, the first FIFA CAF woman vice president. She's coming from the Comoros Island, and then she is there. And like you said, the general secretary is
Voreno Mosengo Omba, Swiss Congolese.
Swiss Congolese.
May we point out that he's a friend of the FIFA president?
No, he is a long-standing friend of. In fact, he resigned.
He had a role in FIFA. He was working as the chief member associations officer in FIFA.
Yes.
That was where he resigned and got this appointment.
Definitely. So he's coming from FIFA directly to come and become
the dispatched team
the general
Africa.
Okay. Probably like we said, Infantino didn't kind of hide behind the fact that he supported this.
Yes.
He said, we played this interview. We can replay that interview again today. He said that maybe they identified some crisis in Africa. They were trying to stabilize it, and then that is why they came together. And then, he has to work in tandem with Morocco and Egypt.
Yes.
They brokered that deal and asked everybody to stay so that we can have a consensus candidate, and then where everybody's also compensated. Because if you step down, it's only Anuma of Cote d'Ivoire that said, okay, I don't want anything. I wanted to contest because I want to change, not because I want to be a partaker of this particular meal.
Well, Ken, don't you think it's a flawed process? Because if you look at Infantino himself, he's not free of scandals.
He's still been investigated.
He's still been investigated.
So let's see. Yes,
he has not removed the speck in his own eyes. He wants to remove the log, the perceived log in the eyes of African football.
But until he's found guilty, he's innocent.
What?
So, I mean, we must stand by that until he is found guilty, he is innocent. So there are accusations about he's still being investigated, but for now, there is no indictment against Infantino. So unless we have those ones before we can...
They should and ought to remove their hand from our electoral process.
I totally agree. But you look at it this way. Remember, even when Sepp Blatter was coming in, this is also the same thing.
He replaced
Avalanche. And then Europe then has Lennart Johansson, the Swede, who was the UEFA president.
Yes.
And that is who they wanted to go. But then they say, an employee is... Sepp Blatter, you are an employee.
Yes.
How do you want to, take over and say, in fact, they were asking him, you want to contest? You want to compete? Initially, he didn't want to contest. And when he came out, because let me say about 5, 10 years, or let me say 7 years, the last years of Yao Haverland, he was old. He was running FIFA. So he has already have his network
and contact
everywhere. And then so it was Europe in UEFA versus Africa versus, and then when the thing came in, he won. He won. He defeated even against his own home group.
Yes.
So he's coming for a re-election. He knows maybe UEFA also might not support him.
Yes.
But if you have 54 block votes from Africa.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's the same game they all play. Abela said this time that it doesn't really matter. Let me say, no matter how you got there, what do you use the office for?
You're very right. I was going to come to that. I hope Motsepe improves African football, especially the African Cup of Nations and the lower categories of that. They've cancelled the under-17 competition this year.
Yes.
For whatever reason,
they said in cancelling it, I think they said two things. One, the under-17 is supposed to be a qualification of FIFA under-17.
Yes. And
FIFA has cancelled the under-17 because of COVID-19.
It's been overtaken by
events. And then because of the second spike, I mean, there is no point in doing this. Let us cancel it.
One area I would love to see him look into again, I don't know if there's a way CAF can look at the African leagues, harmonize it, for it to be as uniform like the European League. Because there was a time Nigeria was expected to submit a list. We had to end our league in the middle of the league just for us to submit
is that CAF's fault? No, when you guys shut down football and then you go for jamboree.
It's not CAF's fault.
Yes.
But they can institute a process or legislation or laws that if you don't do this, you will not participate in the competition.
Yes, I agree.
You must all align with this calendar period. I think if those laws are put in place, every football association will sit up and do what is needful for us as an association. I think CAF has a long way. Because if they put those rules, if you don't finish your league season from this period to this period, you will not be involved in the next season CAF Champions League. All associations will sit up.
That is why he has said in the next 1 year, he will visit all the associations. He will talk Africa and talk with them find out.
That's a lot of extra code.
He's a billionaire. This man is worth $3 billion, about 2-point-something billion pounds. He is what? So it is not in. I mean, maybe he has a private jet. It is not
use his personal money on those stuff.
But how much is that? You travel. You went to Kenya. You went to Cameroon in these few days. I mean, if you can go around with nothing in your pocket, I mean, so what is it? Well, you're talking about a billionaire. How much does it take to travel the 50 countries in Africa? When FIFA were campaigning for them, do you know how many countries they were flying in Africa? They were flying. So it is, to me, he says, I want to tour Africa. I want to speak to the respective federation and find out what peculiar challenges each of them are having. So let's see. But I do believe that the solution to any national problem will not come from CAF, will not come from FIFA. It has to evolve. We are capable of running football in Nigeria. We ran football 20, 30 years ago. Rangers, Insurance, Shooting Stars, they had superstores. Superstores as 1967, 68 were being run with 2 pence, 2 shillings that people were contributing. You understand?
So that's the FIFA, the NFF president I can recall, Commodore
So it is not rocket science.
What changed?
And so there is study what say that you don't need CAF or FIFA to let us know how to run football in Nigeria. There is no template.
I agree with you.
Look at England. Are they in CAF? Are they UEFA? Are they in FIFA? No. But look at their football. People are putting money there. You do what is right, and then they will come in there.
Do what is right.
So that is the belief. Okay, we'll still, when we open the lines, probably we'll hear from you guys and nobody that. But like we said also at the 137th session of the IOC, the German Thomas Bach was re-elected as the IOC president. He was first elected in 2013, but the first tenure was for 8 years. So he has just completed that. He's doing another.
Let's announce the election result. Received the 93 years and 1 no vote.
Yeah, out of 94.
From the 94 valid
votes, yes.
What is the best definition of landslide?
No, this is not a landslide. This is an earthquake. This is an earthquake. He got, out of the 94 valid vote, like you just said, he got 93 and only 1 no. I want to know who said no.
I wonder what will become of that person that said no.
I want to know who said no. I think IOC, they are not as vindictive as FIFA and CAF, because CAF, when they are after you,
Yeah.
when they're after you,
Yeah.
you are gone.
You are gone for good. They will forget you in the annals of football. They will expunge your history.
It comes down even to the National Association.
Yes.
We've seen it. A lot of persons in Nigeria who have tried to contest for the NFF position. They've shown them, and they, not only them, even they and their clubs went into oblivion. Where is Giwa FC has gone? Where is Bariboti and Nembe FC? The moment you oppose the powers that be, I don't succeed. I mean, but I think it is not. It's not supposed to be that way.
I haven't heard one recently, but I don't want to say it.
No problem. There's no point. We're talking about that. What I think.
When it happens,
we should look at it. I think we don't. The way we run football,
it is wrong.
The way
it is wrong.
You should accept opposition. Just like take it like what FIFA is doing now. That's okay. Come together. Don't fight yourself. Work as a team. But not that anybody who opposes you is your enemy. I mean, it shouldn't be so.
I feel in the eyes of a good leader, opposition helps sharpen him. It becomes a tool for personal development and development and adjustments here and there.
Exactly.
As a leader, they should welcome criticism. It helps you become a better leader. If you look at the merits of the criticism and adjust in one or two places, you become a better leader.
And then when you campaign, you don't just say, I don't want to campaign, you kill opposition.
Yes.
When you campaign, it makes you to work harder. That is why they say every 4 years.
And when you win, you appreciate that victory.
But when you say this man is an opposition, you say you want to destroy the opposition, and that is because you want to whatever it is. You know, that is why.
I think it's an African thing. Really.
It's an African thing, and that is why sometimes instead of having an institution, we have individuals. We praise the individuals to high heaven, and when individuals, even when he does nothing, as long as we are following him, it becomes what we want to do. We are going on a very, very short break. When we come back, we shall look at the NBA, we shall look at football, and we shall look at athletics, because the all-comers have took place over the weekend right there in Akure. You stay with us. Okay, welcome back to Channel Sport on Sunday. I will stay kicking. We're still celebrating a new dawn for Africa. We hope it will be a positive dawn. Like we said, a football person, Motsepe, is there. The road he came in, most people said, no. The way you came in was too much. Somebody said it was like we're being coerced. It's like we're being recolonized by FIFA, that FIFA does not do that in UEFA. They're not in CONMEBOL in Asia, the federation. But then it is like maybe Infantino finds Africa as home, and then probably, like he said, he wants to fix. He saw some problems that he needed to fix. And if all the contestants come together and said, we want to move together as one, let's hope that we can get there. Jimmy is in the house. Jimmy, you're welcome to the show. Yeah. We've been looking at, we looked at the CAF elections, and then also, of course, when the news came in, there was this erroneous information going around that Ahmad of Nigeria was the fifth vice president. But like we said, we have the 5 vice presidents that are there. And part of the, let's just discuss before we talk about our league, part of what most people also frown at was that, the sudden change of the constitution, to increase the number of vice presidents from 3 to 5. I mean, and then it took immediate effect. Under normal circumstances,
you should be rectified.
You do this, and then you should not be the direct beneficiary of what you propose. But it's like everything goes in Africa. I don't know.
You know, what I think is shocking is the intrigues that have gone on, and it seems like there was a collective effort by all and sundry to ensure it actually was passed. I mean, I think I heard Obum say the process seemed to have been flawed, especially when you consider the fact that there was interference. You look at it, the General Secretary, the newly appointed General Secretary, Veron Mosengo Omba, actually is someone that had been a friend of Infantino.
They went to school together. They went to law school together.
And they had been spotted discussing liaison with the 4 candidates.
No, they agreed.
They agreed. And also Grafstorm, another employee. Now, we are talking about FIFA entrenching that system where it is directly involved in a member. We saw what happened with Fatma Samora. They said, yes, the mission had been accomplished and all that. Now, they are making sure a Swiss Congolese has come into the fray.
And Swiss Italian is FIFA president. And Swiss Congolese is the...
And I tell you, these are interesting times. Now, it looks like we are happy. Yes, a football person is there now. He's got the money. So we may not be talking about corrupt practices and all the whatnot. But the interference FIFA has right now is something they always have been frowning at. We are seeing dozens of letters being written in times past.
By Jerome Valke.
By Jerome Valke. Some that will say, oh, these are Oluwole letters. But all of a sudden, we are seeing FIFA being directly involved, and they are not really veiling it. They are not. It's not as if they are making it. They are not hiding it.
No, but we played the tape. We played the. We can play it here. He said, I spoke to a lot of federation presidents. And because there is, we noticed they have some challenges in Africa. I want to put it right. So we are not capable of putting our, solving our own problems.
And again, increasing the slots from 3
to 5
without it being properly ratified.
Because you did about 30 days.
Kanisha Ibrahim now gets into the fray, the female, because now what they have is there must be a female.
If you have three, you can have a female. Who says if you have one, you can have a female?
Don't forget that.
And what is their work?
Out of the four, we had a situation where 3 were from West Africa. 2 of those are now there.
Yeah.
Now, Jacques Anoma from Côte d'Ivoire is special senior advisor.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, it's looking like West Africa is the beautiful bride. You may not be the president, but you have, lucrative positions within the setup. It sounds good to hear that he wants to go round, the continent. But the question is, the under-17, the cancellation of the under-17 competition, where a lot of, our youngsters are deprived of, being able to strut that stuff. It's one of those things that they would need to check. They would need to review, and they need to work at.
They gave a cogent reason for that. One, because of the second spike, which are of coronavirus, and 2, the under-17 is supposed to be a qualifier for the FIFA under-17, which has been cancelled. So, I mean, what is the essence of doing it?
What if the essence is that it gives those
opportunity,
players a competitive experience?
Exactly.
I agree, but at what cost? That's what we are saying.
Ken was held in Cameroon this year.
The new normal is that a secure bubble is ensured for teams like this get into competition. There are games being run.
Okay.
There are different leagues being run. There are different competitions being played. So when you now make it look like, because there is this particular... Things never will get done.
All right, let's also hope things will get done, Jimmy. It will be get done. Let's come back home. We don't talk about MPFA. We'll have left this for later time, but we want to have ample time to talk about it. We've been on this for some time now. We talked about the wiki tourist boss that got caught fire. Yeah. We talked about the Robo. Robo Queen who were robbed. Yeah. We talked about Kwara United coming back from Enugu that had got into an accident, and they were robbed. And now this is another one again. The issue of Aqua United. We'll be looking at this and the safety, the health and safety of the players who are. It is all about them. What you are seeing there is Aqua United boss taking them for a match against Jigawa Golden Stars,
which has now been postponed.
And somewhere in around Enugu area, they look at the collision. Is that a tanker that they go collided with or whatever? And this is the thing. And so just look at what is happening.
Safety is key. Ordinarily, when we're talking about club licensing regulations and all that, we talked about the legal angle to it, the administrative, the financial, medical. Now, we are seeing that at this point in time, one of the most crucial elements of our game is that there is safety measures, that we need to adopt at this point in time. But always...
This is an oil tanker.
Can I say something?
Had this thing even exploded? What would we be talking about if there's an explosion?
I'm just thinking the League Management Association of Nigeria and the club owners, why can't they come together and approach the airline companies and get into partnership with this and get a subsidized ticket for travel?
A very fantastic point. But before getting there, we've talked about it. We've bled from the 2 sides of our mouth as regards this particular issue. What stops us from having a regional league, for crying out loud? Because at the end of the day, it reduces the amount of, we have said clubs are not really financially solvent to get things done. So why don't you help them? Because at the end of the day,
Northern and Southern League.
It's simple.
Two ways.
It's simple.
Jimmy, funny enough, sorry, I agree with you. Funny enough, if we are having a Southern or Northern League, because we saw Wiki tourists, it is near just there, now, which is supposed to be in their own area that they got the accident. Aqua United, this is in Enugu area, which is in their own area, so it's just as if they've gone.
Ken, we are not trying to say all of the problems will get vanquished in a day.
No, I'm only pointing
or
that
within a
out.
Season.
That
I'm saying, in my own personal view, I'm saying that it will be better. Problems will be reduced. Local balance, problem no they finish. But you can reduce the problems by ensuring as much as possible you cut off some things so that at least the clubs don't have to spend so much in terms of commuting.
I think to get off the road. I
get
agree
off the road.
That if, like he said,
Can you
have an arrangement, a partnership with airlines?
They will welcome it.
To move, you can even transit from one
from one state to another within your region.
Within your region,
it's very possible.
They have Ibom Air, if I'm not mistaken, and then taking them right then to to Kaduna or to Abuja. The Kaduna airport.
They fly to Abuja.
They fly to Abuja. They can even fly to Kaduna. There's Kaduna airport. It has been there for a very long time ago.
And
so
from Kaduna,
Kaduna is where they are going to.
And the question begs, what exactly is the Ministry of Sports doing about this? What exactly is the NFF doing about this? What exactly is the LMC? See,
the Ministry of Sport should not be brought. Of course,
yes, I don't hold it for them, but they should not be brought in.
The Ministry of Sport is...
What is the LMA and the league and the owners of this club doing?
How did the league get started?
Jimmy.
With the intervention of the ministry.
Yes
or no?
I totally agree with you. They intervened.
Yeah.
And we said that was illegality. But then, I don't know how that legality has been legalized now. Because it was illegal in the first place to go and go to CAC without the consent of the club owners, and you register a league, and on behalf of adults who are over 18, who are not senile, who are not whatever, and you say you are opening it in trust. You understand? When the league, the club owners wanted to go to court, they specify them, and then you of course will bring you in and stuff like that.
Okay,
and that is what we are here. It's an arranging thing.
You conveniently forget that we have made the abnormal normal in this part. So we have to go with some of the abnormalities. The anomalies are there. We work with it because we want to see our young ones play football. Or else, if we were working with getting the ideal done, we will not get football done.
But Jimmy, even then,
not play football
in retrospect, if you look back then, it wasn't actually the ministry. It was the NFF.
Exactly.
To get the season started? No, it was the minister.
No. It was the NFF that this is because the minister intervened in this because of the COVID-19 protocols. It was health. It was health issue. Was it safe for the league to start? I think that is why we were talking about the National Sport Festival.
Yeah.
That is what happened. And that was why the ministry intervened. The issue, not because of the league should start.
Okay, so to go back to what I said.
Yeah.
When I mentioned the ministry, why I mentioned that is the LMC have that role to play. If the LMC is not getting it done, you ask the NFF. If the NFF is not getting it done, you ask the ministry.
Of course,
it's simple as
the
that.
buck stops there.
Whilst not telling them to interfere directly, if there are things that they can advise on, there are times you advise and you are telling the person, I want you to get it done. Because
hold on.
Okay.
Are the people, the sports ministry, why should they advise a statutory body, NFF and LMC? Are they mannequins who manage those offices?
No,
are they mannequins?
God bless your boom. No,
Again, question begs. We have seen that these anomalies are there.
It's not interference.
But
Jimmy,
if they cannot solve problems, let them resign and
Jimmy,
go.
is it not interference?
If FIFA can interfere,
it doesn't stop and end in Nigeria.
The truth of the matter
is that we can take some. Is it possible to take some calls? If it is possible, we can take some calls. So you guys to wade into the story, the issues we've been talking about here. The new CAF president is there. We're talking about the dangers that our players and sportsmen encountering on the way. And then all the issues. We're talking about the NBA. We talked here. Look at the NBA. It's not controlled by government. We're talking about UFC. It's not controlled by government. We're talking about... And all these things are thriving because it are private bodies that are just what Obum is saying here. They start to... Individuals come together
because they are
without
sport
government.
Businesses.
You understand? You know?
Crucial point, because they are sport businesses.
Okay, Jimmy, let's talk about, so that is the thing. So because we're talking about the league, and then before we leave that, we can also maybe just show you a clip of what happened last. We'll talk about the wiki tourist, boss that burnt fire, so that you juxtapose these two and see maybe this will, like what Obama is saying, probably compel or maybe touch the heart of those who run the league to say, we need to do something about
Safety
the
protocols.
league. You understand?
Of these players have to be,
that was one of the players.
The promise is
yes, Baba was a player of a wiki tourist.
This happened this morning at Hawan Kibo on our way to Akwa Ibom for a match against Dakada on Saturday. We lost 2 tires before the bus eventually caught fire.
That is it.
Thank God for delivering us. No life was lost.
Look at the bus burnt down.
Glory to God. Finally back home in Bauchi with heart full of gratitude to God Almighty for his mercy and mighty deliverance. A big kudos to our great drivers at Plateau United for giving us their bus to take us back home.
Yeah, you see,
good sportsmanship.
Good sportsmanship. Same thing.
Exactly.
Rangers also came.
Did same.
Came to the rescue of Akwa. So there is brotherhood. Anybody telling in Nigeria that we don't love ourselves, the person is talking about something else. Look at Rangers now. They gave their boss. They came in to the when they had that thing happen, they rushed down to the scene.
And it's like a template. Plateau United accept.
Plateau United did it, for wiki tourists, and here Rangers are doing it also for Aqua. So we should look at these things. This boss is as at when Gusak Babio was the governor of the state.
Exactly.
We don't know how old, because that was the boss for Super Eagles. You can say that boss had Nigeria and Super Eagles on it. You understand?
Yes,
but then,
Super Eagles borrowed. They borrowed the ball.
And then
they kept it for Super Eagles when they come.
That is even about branding.
Because
you are carrying Aqua United. You are not even selling Aqua United as a brand. You are traveling across the country. You understand? Ask advertisers how much it takes to brand buses. And then you are moving it around, and then you're having Super Eagles and Nigeria when it is Aqua United.
And this is exactly what they don't understand about branding.
All right, Kazim. Kazim is on the line. Hello, Kazim.
Kazim, good afternoon, Ken.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen on the.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Kazim.
Yes, I'm very impressed with the new elected president of CAF.
Okay.
Exactly. This is what I have been waiting for. Honestly, Ken. I think African football needs to move forward. We need to move forward. And let me say congratulations to Amadu Phoenix for what he got as a member of the Viva executive member. I'm so happy about that.
Okay.
Yes, in the MPFL, I think we need to adjust ourselves, Ken. The MPFL should know that the club owners should arrange with an airline so that there will be a safety for the players. If the owners are flying up and down, going to Enugu, going to Abuja, going to Lagos, come and watch, why can't the players fly? These are the people that are doing the job.
Exactly.
How much are they paying them? They can do it. They have the money. That is why we say if you don't have money, you cannot run a league in Nigeria. Let's boost our country with the airline. Let's talk to the airline. They would try, and I think this is a Nigerian football. We want to appreciate that.
Okay, Kazim.
What are we gaining there that we cannot come back home?
Yeah.
So let's talk the facts. They should approach the airline people and so that they can save this. Let's save these players. Please, let's adjust ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And if I'm not mistaken, gentlemen, Ibom Air sponsors Aqua United. I think there is an arrangement.
I remember.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
No, there was an unveiling.
That's Imo, if I'm not mistaken, Atland.
No,
Atland,
I think Ibom. I'm trying.
Okay. No. I think that's Atland.
That one is which air is that?
Atland, Imo here or something.
No,
I think probably maybe the callers but if somebody from that side can let us understand.
Again, Ken,
yes,
we talked about I mentioned the fact that we can start talking about safety protocols.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that the distance between, wherever a club is coming from, and let's say, for example, if you're coming from Ilorin to Lagos, I think that's permissible. Within 3-4 hours, you are here. If the distance is beyond 3 hours by road, then they may make it a rule. Mandatory.
Fly to the nearest.
So that forces the hands of, the club administrators to sign a pact with airlines. It can't be too difficult to do.
Some of these clubs go on night bus. On night
That
journey.
is why they were.
It's shocking. That's why they were
attacked by the Robo Queen. They were attacked by
Queens.
11 p.m. I think which other team that was attacked at almost about, I think is it Plateau at the same time. In this same axis of Lagos to Benin expressway.
Exactly.
The club owners have a duty of care to these players because if any harm comes before these players, and we all know the security situation in some of these areas, so something urgently needs to be done to forestall further recovery.
But can we argue with you that there is no insecurity in the land?
There's a lot of
No.
insecurity.
Okay.
Who said there's no insecurity?
You now.
How will I say insecurity?
You know, we talked about it when we were talking about National Sports Festival.
Yes.
We said there was insecurity in the land. You felt okay, it can still go on. But what we are saying at the end of the day is the insecurity.
Remember, I was an apostle of the fact of pushing the national sport from the very beginning on everything on my ground.
Definitely.
So there was no way I would have said they should go ahead because of health. Because of security. The major problem with national sports. Okay, let's go to Kaduna.
My colleague, somebody has contributed. Somebody has said that the airlines will take care of this, and it's true because many people are this thing. It's just this thing now. It's just how many this thing? It's just 40 hours.
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
40 minutes. This thing flight.
Yeah.
From anywhere you are going.
Especially yes, in Nigeria, not more than 1 hour. Yes.
Max 1 hour.
Maximum 1 hour. Exactly.
Let the LMC or this thing, let them take care of that distance because at the end of the day, if care is not taken, there will be a problem with the professional league. Some clubs cannot even honor the distance, and they have the vehicles they have. I don't know. They are not trust. They are not roadworthy.
I don't know.
You know.
Ken,
thank you very much.
Ken, I'm begging you not to talk about the Abia Angels, the boss of the Abia Angels. Please don't talk about it.
No, the Abia Angels boss. There was a release from the chairman of Abia Angels, and then he said, because I looked at the picture. Of course, there are some players of Abia Angels on top of the boss. But there are about 6 or 7 other who are on top of that boss who are wearing black. Who were wearing black, which means, like he said, they were going for a funeral.
Yeah.
Ken, 2 questions.
You
Ken, 2 questions.
No, but look at those
questions.
Yes.
The football club
would the chairman of this club sit on top of that boss? 1, would he allow his daughter to sit on top of this boss?
2,
wherever they are going to is inconsequential. Would he allow his daughter?
It is
I
shameful.
think it should be condemned.
It is deprecating of the club, of the state. Yeah. Don't forget that the Abia State governor just handed over buses to Eyimba and also Abia Warriors.
Yes.
So what happens to the ladies? And this is exactly what I've seen, even with CAF.
I totally agree with you on that because even from the statement he made, he said
complained.
He said they have complained they needed a boss.
Yes.
This boss was not their boss. They had an arrangement with the owner of this boss. So they only now agreed to print their name on the. That is the funniest thing. Now, Abia Angels do not have the boss; they have their name on the boss. Aqua United has Super Eagles and Nigeria on their boss.
A problem of branding.
You see,
a problem of communication.
Abia Angels Football Club. Meanwhile, this boss, according to the chairman, belongs to a private individual.
This is
and they don't say, let us just write our name. This is when we are going.
This is one thing about Nigerian football that I've seen. There is a space for brand communication specialists. But you don't have them anywhere because the league. Ken, let's understand this.
Let's not talk about play salary first. Jimmy, I agree with you, but you are traveling too fast.
Let's
Jimmy, let's look at the basics. Let's look at the basics.
Talking about a psychologist and sports science.
When you're in class 1 or so, they taught you that the basic of man is food, clothing, and shelter. You understand? That the early man needed what they needed is food, clothing, and shelter. They taught us that in school. So before you talk about the hierarchy of need, and say, go to Maslow, tell Maslow what to tell you to do this or do that. But that is what's the thing. So let us first of all get food, clothing, and shelter for the players. That is the food now. That is the salary that we give those things. It's unfortunate, so that we laugh. It's not as if we're not serious about these things. They are so bizarre that you have no option than to start laughing at yourself. You say, this is where we ought to go. This is where we ought to be. This is right now. You've been in Nigeria, wherever you are in Nigeria, and you can see what is happening in UK, in everywhere in the world. What is the development of sport? And so you don't even need anybody to come and preach it to you. You can press the internet, and you will show structures how leagues are run all over the world.
The most traveled around the world. Why are they not reciprocating what they see outside Nigeria?
Outside the country.
At the point they were standing them, I think at the initial
capacity
stage,
building
capacity,
program.
God bless you. When this the Pinnick alone came in, there was capacity building. So how much capacity has been built? Pinnick is already in his second term. The second term is almost ending, and we are still at this particular level. I think both the LMC, and then when you bring out these things, they say, oh, you are enemy of the league. You bring in the leagues down. And when you don't talk about the league, the accuser, oh, why are you talking about foreign league? Must you always talk about the negatives?
Wow.
I mean,
let them give us positives to talk about it.
So please, let us get these things done. Let us get it. Like I said, it is not rocket science.
It's not rocket science.
We have done it. We have done it before.
Power to do right.
The Lekon Salamis that ran the league.
Yeah.
How did they do it? No, the Jimobodos that ran Rangers. How did they do it?
Ken, shocking.
We're talking about 1970, 1968.
Most of the things that we are even talking about are laughable, to say the least.
Let's go to
Paul from Abia State.
Okay, let's go to Abia. Paul, how are you, Paul?
Fine. How is everything?
Fine.
So I want to say sorry to what happened to Akwa United for going for their match away to Paduna, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have an accident. I'm so sorry for what happened for them. Yes, and they are getting now isn't it?
Can you kill the volume of your telly
and talk through the
phone?
Yeah.
Kill the volume of your telly. Kill it. Stay away from your telly and talk to the phone.
So sorry for what happened to Akwa United.
Okay, better.
Yes, I'm so sorry for what happened to them. But I want to say, has our Nigeria kicked off our FA Cup?
Our what?
Have we started our own FA Cup? That is state FA Cup in Nigeria here.
Jimmy, we answer you.
We didn't play last year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Paul, but you didn't say it about the Abia Angels. He's from your state. Okay, Paul is no longer there.
I thought you would have said something.
All right,
exactly.
Let's talk something positive, even if it's from the foreign land. At the NBA All-Stars, it did. Okay. All right, we want to go. They said we should go on a break. And when we come back, definitely we'll do that. I want to talk about one Wilfred Saha, who said, I am not taking the knee. I want to stand tall. Yes, the tennis world is also agog after the Australian Open. We saw Djokovic there going for number 18. And then I know some people here on this studio are not feeling comfortable because the gap is becoming closer and closer. They've already been caught up by one. And then another GOAT. At the point, we might have 20. And then we'll now look at the other indices that will make it. But I think no matter what you tell Jimmy, Jimmy will tell you who the GOAT is. But that is actually the GOAT. For now, he's laying claim to the GOAT. 312 weeks at the top. That is what is cumulatively. No tennis player has done that in the 48 years history of the ATP ranking. Djokovic has just done that, which means for the 48 years, he has taken 6 years, which is 1/8 actually. And all other tennis players have 1/7. I have 7/8, while he has 1/8 of those years.
Kudos to him.
6 years at the top.
Kudos to him.
And counting.
When he busted into the scene, he was a bit inconsistent.
Exactly.
That was the issue I had with his game. Immediately he found that consistency, he became unplayable. And he gathered those Grand Slams. And congratulations to him. I can't begrudge, even though Jimmy might not necessarily feel happy about it, but it's one of those things.
No, Jimmy speaks the truth. Jimmy, let's hear from Jimmy. Jimmy speaks the truth.
Let me pretend to be objective. But honestly, I think we just have to applaud. You said I will speak the truth.
You speak the truth.
And I said, let me pretend to be objective.
Yes.
But we have to, we have to applaud Novak for what he's done.
Yeah.
Like Obum did say, at a point in his game, initially he was deemed as being too inconsistent. It was deemed a joker.
Yeah.
And nobody would have expected the way.
And the joke is now on them.
The joke is on the others, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
And when you consider the fact that the federal rivalry is regarded as the best in sports for a lot of people,
yeah.
you now see somebody from nowhere
Factor,
leaving them aside,
yes.
and turning it all around, because the statistics is beginning to tumble all of a sudden. It's no longer about Federer. It's no longer about Nadal. Because when you consider the way he's played, the way he's been, versatile across different courts.
And if not for that disqualification in the last year's Open,
he may have just have not up to 19. And the way he looks, because of his age, because of the fact that he plays on more surfaces than Nadal, then you can say for free that according to statistics,
what do you mean than Nadal? What do you mean I play on more for surfaces?
No.
How many? He has won 9. He has won 9 here. He has won 9 here.
Nadal has found a way to excel more on clay.
Nadal has won in all the surfaces. He has won.
He has
2 grass. He has 2 Wimbledon titles. That is not so. That alone tells you that his that is the opposite.
But
don't go that way.
Ken,
put Federer.
Who is the more rounded of them all?
No.
Who is the more rounded?
No, Federer has just won French Open.
US Open.
Nadal has 2.
French Open.
2 Wimbledon.
Now,
so who is more versatile?
Ken.
Why no?
Ken, let's look at it holistically.
You said you would be objective on this issue.
Let's look at it holistically.
You said you would be objective.
Novak is more well-rounded than the 2 of them.
You would have said so. Why
That's what I said.
You picked only Nadal.
You said Nadal.
No, ahead of Nadal.
You said Nadal.
Ahead of Nadal.
We expected you to be saying Federer.
Ahead of Nadal.
You said Nadal.
Okay, the crime is...
We all have the facts in the tip of our fingers.
Yes.
So you cannot, no way you can
turn it around. You cannot have Federer.
Nadal.
Bring him out and analyze him.
Federer has just 1 French Open.
Okay,
Nadal has 2 Wimbledon.
Noted. But again,
in terms of versatility,
again,
yes.
Novak Djokovic most likely will become the greatest player of all time, based on his antecedents, based on what he's currently doing, based on the fact that if he stays fit and is more rounded than Nadal. I say it again, because at the end of the day, what Nadal does is he picks competitions.
I agree with you. You know what I agree with you on? You are now saying the GOAT is between Nadal and Djokovic.
I never said so. I never said so. I never said so.
No, but the comparative analysis has been between these 2 players.
I never said so.
So I totally agree with you.
I never said so.
Federer is out of it.
You are choosing what to believe.
Okay. All right, that is it. The lines are still open. You can still join the conversation. We have it hot here. Everybody know where you belong. Nobody will tell you the road to your father's house. we all know. So when somebody is throwing stones, we say, look, guy, take it easy. We know where the stones are coming from.
The grace and panache of Roger Federer is unmatchable, unmistakable.
Yes.
Is inimitable.
Yes.
So, and when we talk about Roger Federer, it goes beyond statistics.
I will invite somebody on this side that will give you grammar for grammar. Okay, let's talk about the NBA, because like we said, they did something very nice. The All-Stars thing, they raised some fund. Apart from picking the best players there in the NBA, it was about fundraising. It was about fundraising, because why we're actually talking about this is you see everything. We go foreign and we relate it to home and see what is really happening. It was the HC. The HBCUs, you understand?
Historically black colleges and universities.
They were the beneficiaries of this. The NBA brought in $3 million. They were able to raise $3 million. And then, it's okay, fine. $3 million, for them. Because it is from here that, the blacks get funded. It is a majority of the black students were able to go to college and universities without scholarships. And these foundations, the Togood, and then the other one, some of them they are the major source of funding for these universities, and some of them are private universities. Even the Kamala Harris, the vice president, attended Howard. So that part of she is part of this and as a beneficiary.
A majority of those is okay.
Let's come to Lagos, because we have a caller.
Tunde.
Hello, Tunde.
Hello, good afternoon, Ken.
Good afternoon.
Tunde, how are you?
I'm fine. Let me say that this program has become something I cannot live without on Sundays. Wherever I am, I always rush back to be part of this program. This is so complete. I mean, this is so awesome. Well done, guys. Now, let me make my comment concerning the new, the CAF president.
Yeah.
I am not too happy. It is time for Africans to be on their own. Why must FIFA be interrupting and be telling us what to do? We have come of age. This, like you rightly said in the program, they can't do this in other confederations. Why Africa? Why? Thank you, Ken. Well done.
God, thank you very much. Bless you.
Nothing more to add.
Nothing more to add.
Exactly.
Nothing more to add. Like we said, it takes if it's on a level playing field. I do believe I would have voted for Motsepe based on his antecedents. You understand? And to underscore that, although we're talking about the black investors, we just take that. I just want us to take 1 second off and do this. Let us see if it is possible. Let us see the league table of South African League. Let us see how they stand now in South Africa. It tells a lot of stories. What we are doing it is, they say when you give people award, you want to encourage them to do more. You understand? We're talking about in Nigeria, that part of the problem we have is that those who run our leagues in Nigeria have never had anything to do with football in any sector. They have never been, they have never managed a football team.
Exactly.
They've never owned a football team. And then they just go there and say, we want to manage the league. You understand? Motsepe, on the other hand, for the past 20 years of 2 decades, have been spending, have been funding. Mamelodi Sundowns involved. And that team has won 20. Look at the league table. Who's at the top?
Mamelodi Sundowns FC.
They played 17 matches and they are there at 39 points.
39 points.
You understand?
Far lesser than the team next to them.
The other teams have at least no team there that is the least.
Okay, what happened to Super Sports United? There was a period they won the league back to back, like 3 or 4 years they won the league.
That is the swing. But right now, like I said, Mamelodi has the record of 10 wins since the PSL started in 1996. No other team has that.
What commendable.
And here they are, and through the effort of one man, just like what Abramovich is doing with Chelsea, one man spending money.
DSTV Premiership, the name has been changed.
Of course, that is the sponsorship that they have.
Yeah, we have issues with sponsorship.
Yeah, we have when rain falls, we don't watch them. So probably that is what we are saying here, that this guy has an antecedent that if not for the direct and obvious interference and the total disregard of the process that Africa does, and then they interfered.
Yes.
And then you go and tell a government that you cannot interfere, and then you are interfering. He who comes with for equity must do that. With clean hands, and that's what we are saying here. So, let's go back to what we're talking about the NBA All Stars. They were able to raise some money.
1.25 for Team LeBron, and also Team Durant were able to raise $500,000 for the United Negro College Fund, and I think that's very commendable. This is exactly what we should have superstars do when they are sportsmen, regardless of where you have come from, regardless of tribal, cultural, religious affiliations, as much as possible. Sportsmen are supposed to use their own influence. That's why when we're talking about Zlatan was talking about societal change and that King LeBron should not get involved with politics.
He has always been involved.
That's not politics. He's always been involved, and that's exactly what he's doing again.
And what we should be asking ourselves here is, like we said, these monies. Basketball these monies are used for the education of the blacks.
Exactly.
Now, if you ask yourself, likewise, why you see the Mario Nyalis of this world, the Florence Omagwemi, we're not looking about the route to Soros, Blessed Okagbare, they all go to benefit in American investors. This is where the scholarship, this is where the money is coming from.
Exactly.
So we ask ourselves, and I hope we can get that data, and I dare them to provide the data. All Nigerian universities, University of Lagos, University of Benin, University of Ibadan, University of Ife,
in terms of promotion of sports?
University of Nigeria and Suka, tell us how many scholarships you are giving to students. In Nigeria, if a child, no matter how brilliant you are, no matter if you don't have the money, you can't go to school. We are saying that the children of the poor has the right to go to school. Basketball has not given this. For every dunk, there was money.
Yeah.
For every free throw, there was money.
Yeah.
For
During,
you understand?
during the Abiola Babes era, you saw
getting,
what Chief MKO Abiola was doing.
As an individual.
As an individual,
About institutions
sponsoring
yes.
some of the players to American universities.
Let us get the scholarship. Let us get how many students are on scholarships in Nigerian universities. When you make your budget to the federal government for university,
there should
get
be a
allowance
line.
for budget.
I think Unilag and Uniport are reputed to be doing
that. They let us want to know. You understand?
What everyone is doing.
Not just for sportsmen.
What is the process? How transparent
Not just for sportsmen,
Yeah.
for indigent students who cannot afford it. When you make your budget to the federal government, do you make provision for scholarship for students who cannot pay their fees?
Exactly.
Those are the things
And
we're talking about here. And that is what the NBA, that is what the league, our problem is that the league is supposed to be a cash cow.
Exactly.
Is the one
dependent.
that is dependent.
I will keep saying this
Yeah.
until administrators change their mindset, remove themselves from personal interest, and put the general good of the people while leading, while being at the helm of any affairs. We will not go anywhere as a nation.
All right, let's then look at the APL today. There will be some matches because we are running out of time. Time to
Is it not London Derby today?
Yeah, they were fighting for Europa position.
Excuse me.
see how excited Ogum is.
What excitement?
See how excited Ogum is.
What excitement?
Against Tottenham.
Leicester City versus Sheffield United.
Arsenal
at home versus Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
I feel Arsenal will lose.
Why would you feel so?
I feel Arsenal
well,
will lose.
they've been doing well. Arsenal will win that match.
Manchester United versus West Ham United.
Yes.
And
A story of two United
versus Liverpool. Liverpool struggling very, very badly.
Probably they will just come. When they come back, they will come back.
They will come back.
Yes, when they come back, they
Big
will
time.
come back. Because of what they want to take Zaha, Wilfred Zaha yesterday, something really happened. Okay, that is the top 5.
Stealing away from the rest.
That is the top 5.
71 points
I
for
think
Manchester
the league is wrapped
City.
up already.
No, as it stands,
league is
Arsenal
wrapped up.
win all their matches that are remaining.
Ken, why are you mentioning Arsenal?
No. They're on 38.
I wonder why you're looking at these statistics.
Why are you mentioning Arsenal?
No, this is uncomfortable. Why are you not calling?
Yeah.
What is uncomfortable?
This is Babala
No, this is Babala sauce.
No, gentlemen, this
You are
is
maligning the football club.
No, this is elimination by substitution. Final, Arsenal is eliminated. They can no longer win the league because they can only stop at that 70.
We're not even talking of top 4, top 6.
Win all their matches. They will end here. So, okay, let's see Zaha. This is what he said.
My decision to stand at kickoff.
That is him standing.
My decision to stand at kickoff has been public knowledge for a couple of weeks now. There is no right or wrong decision, but for me personally, I feel kneeling has just become a part of the pre-match routine. And at the moment, it doesn't matter whether we kneel or stand. Some of us still continue to receive abuse. I will continue to stand tall.
Yes.
Well, that's his opinion, and he's entitled to one.
Well,
yeah, okay.
I think he has broken ranks for me. This is being done. This is a collective decision that was taken in the league to bring awareness.
But has it been effective?
Ken, but
that is what he's saying.
No, hold on. Standing tall too. When they were standing, it was much more worse. But it has brought an awareness to what is being done. So I feel he has just broken ranks. There was
a part of this. There was a part of this statement that we didn't take. He said he said the networks, you understand, and they have a job to do. In the sense you can fish out those who are abusing them online. Are you getting it? Which is more important. That in spite of you taking the
hold on, let me take
on.
that. So I know there's a lot of work being done behind the scenes at the Premier League and other authorities to make change. I fully respect that and everyone involved. I also fully respect my teammates and players at other clubs who continue to take the knee. As a society, I feel we should be encouraging better education in schools, and social media companies should be taking stronger action against people who abuse online.
All right, we are closing there. All right, Jimmy.
Sad to see Marvin Hagler go.
You're okay. We'll take that next week.
67 fights.
Yeah.
Lost 3, drew 2, 52 knockouts. One of the 4 kings.
All right, one of the 4
Sad to
kings.
see him go.
Well, not sports-related. Thoughts are with you, one of us here who lost
Theo.
the dad.
Yeah,
thoughts are prayers are with you and your family.
Yeah, that is why you've not been seeing the Catalan, but he will be back soon. He lost his father. He's the youngest member of the team. And like Obum said, we are with him here until then, and he will come back better and stronger. And he's talking about Marvelous Marvin Hagler as a part of the 4. That top 4, there was even a 5th, because we have Marvin Hagler, we have Sugar Ray Leonard, we have Tommy Haynes, we have the Hand of Stone. You know, Manos de Pedra, that is called, Roberto Duran, and there was the Beast, yes, the Beast Mugabe. I'm Ken Ochonogo. Have a blessed Sunday.